Welcome to It's Not What You Think with Mordy Levine. In this episode, we get to meet three precious jewels, three senior citizens, Gail, Rosalind, and PJ. Their average age is 86. They share their thoughts on their lives so far and what they look forward to. They're all beautiful beings with some very special thoughts. This is episode 23 of It's Not What You Think, recorded in summer of 2021. It's Not What You Think podcast is available on YouTube and Spotify. So please like, comment, share, or subscribe on your favorite platform. That support is enough to allow us to produce this show. Our interviews are with people who may have opinions different from yours or mine. So while we keep an open mind, just remember, it's not what you think. So welcome to the podcast, Gail. It's Not What You Think. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Maybe, just your name, your age, and just briefly the kind of work you did before you retired.
Okay. My name is Gail. I'm 87, and the work I did was as a speech and language therapist in various hospital and school programs, and also as a classroom teacher of English as a second language.
Beautiful, beautiful. That explains why you speak perfectly.
Even though I grew up in Manhattan.
Oh yeah, that doesn't come through. I grew up in Brooklyn, but late at night though, the accent comes out. And about how long have you been retired?
uh, Almost 22, or yes, just about 22 years.
Beautiful. And was retirement what you expected it to be?
Yes, it was. It was a relief from working, and I got the chance to do a lot of other part-time work and then volunteer work over the years. Yes, it's been very fulfilling and given me choices, and I've really enjoyed it.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. So, looking back on your life, what are some of the things that you've done that you're most proud of or that have given you great fulfillment?
Well, I have to mention that my children are really my great pride. Um, I'm proud of them, not proud of me. They were all teenagers when we moved to Massachusetts from California. And so they had to begin a completely new life. And then a few months later, their father died. So they had to uh, go through high school and college, and they did extraordinarily well. I'm very proud of them. They are all professional people um, and very extraordinary people, as I said. The only problem is that they all live in California.
Well, one of us can move to the other side of the country, but we're not going to get into that right now.
No.
We'll discuss that after the podcast.
Okay.
So what in particular do you look forward to in the next few years?
I don't have many years to look forward to, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I hoped to maintain good health, continue my social activities, uh, go to the gym, keep physically in shape, and enjoy my congregation, and lots of things in this part of the world to enjoy as well. Um, I have a very close friend whom I spend weekends with, and we do lovely things during the summer. Lots of walks in beautiful places, and that's very pleasant. And I hope to look forward. I look forward to continuing that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you have a lot of wonderful things to look forward to. You're going to be busy and not just busy, but busy and good and productive and joyful things. So that's wonderful. So I'm going to change gears a little bit. Uh,
Yes,
do you believe in God or a higher being of some kind?
I do have a concept of God. It's kind of amorphous. It's not the traditional God that I pay lip service to uh, during prayers. Um, but yes, I do have some concept of God.
Hmm.
Again, I can't tell you what it is.
You don't have a picture of him hanging on the
Nope,
wall that you
nope,
can?
nope,
Okay.
nope.
So, so where do you think you or your spirit will or soul will go when you pass on from this life?
I have no real concept of an afterlife. I've never been there. Um, I don't anticipate reuniting with people or experiencing a punishment or reward. Um, I don't count on that sort of thing.
Hmm.
It's
And
over.
when it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
Uh, I know that as I get older, I think about dying much more than when I was younger. Do you think about it at all?
Mm-hmm.
So you do?
Pardon?
No, I said, as I get older, I think about dying much more than when I was younger. Do you think
Oh,
about it at
oh,
all?
about dying. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, that's okay.
Um, yes,
Hmm.
I do.
Hmm.
Uh, I think about what my funeral will be like.
Hmm.
Uh, I do when, whereas in the past I never did.
And
Uh,
how, when you think about it, how does that change your life, if it does at all? Obviously, like you said, you think about your funeral, but do you live your life differently because maybe you have death, over your back shoulder, or do you live life exactly the same?
I think I live life the same way. I
Hmm.
don't think my concept of the end of my life
Mm,
influences the way I behave, particularly.
got
Um,
it. Thank you.
I used to be very judgmental, quite honestly. And I've dropped some of that recently, in recent years.
Hmm.
Uh, I think I'm more accepting of people's um, faults or things that I found worthy of criticism in the
Hmm.
past.
Right, differences, because they may not view them as faults.
More accepting and
Right. Good. I'm glad about that. So, from all of your experience, last question. From all of your experience, what advice do you have for your children or people watching this video about how best to live life?
that's really a hard question because I'm not in the practice of giving advice. Um, however, I I do feel that focusing on acquisitions, on money, on status is not a worthwhile pursuit. That uh, the values of a good life are very much more important. And I always taught my kids that you don't value things. Things are not very important. There are so many more things that are worthwhile in this life. And I guess aside from that, there's not much else that I would advise to people. Um, Again, I'm very grateful for the way my children have grown up, but I don't have a magic formula for that. Uh,
Well,
anyway, it happened and I'm lucky.
I think the magic formula is probably love and caring, but this is your podcast. I probably shouldn't. I'll have to edit that out. I don't want to give you the
Yeah, yeah.
and I can feel that. So that's why I said it's not because I just oh, let's throw that in there. But I could definitely feel that, and I'm sure your children are very much aware of that, and will pass that on. So yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time today to speak with me about your life, and I know that this will be inspiring to many people, and you're now one of my new heroes, inspiring and very precious. So thank you very much for making the time.
You're very welcome. It's been
Very
a
nice.
pleasure.
It's very nice meeting you.
And I feel the same.
Okay. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Hi, Roz
Good.
Spivak. Welcome to the podcast. It's Not What You Think. So can you tell me, even though I know, but our audience doesn't know, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe, start with your name, your age, the kind of work you did before you retired.
Hi, Mordy. I'm I'm 92. I retired as assistant principal of a middle school, a big middle school in Brooklyn. And I think you asked for my name, Roz Spivak. So we're all set. I remember three things at once. And, and before I was an assistant principal, I taught for many years.
Great.
Just a few more years than I'm retired.
Understood.
I'm retired 30 years.
I'm going to do the math after we do the recording because it's a high level math. I don't want to take time.
Yes. And for me, it's in the calculus range.
Right.
But it's, so I am retired for 30 years and
Great.
I taught maybe 36, 37 years
Okay.
altogether.
Got it.
In
Only
a variety.
you couldn't make it.
Variety of teaching.
You couldn't make it to teaching for 50 years. You had to stop at 36.
I tried, but I couldn't even make it to 37.
Right.
So.
So have you been enjoying your retirement? And if so,
I loved the retirement while my husband was alive because we retired together. We traveled, we took classes, we did a lot of things that we always wanted to do, and we did it together. So he's gone 5 years, and the retirement adventure changed. It changed a lot, as you can imagine.
Of course.
And I like to be active, as you know. I like to be doing stuff. So soon after Erwin died, a friend suggested that she knew what I wanted to teach. I wanted to continue to teach, but as a volunteer. I really didn't want the commitment of a job.
Right.
And when we lived in Brooklyn, I was part of a group of volunteers at a community center in Brighton Beach. And we were doing conversations in English with the Russian immigrants. And that was fun, and I liked that a lot. So that was a skill that I had, and I wanted to use it again. And this neighbor suggested going over to the local college, which I did, and I got into a program there of conversation partners. And that has enriched my life considerably, a lot.
You couldn't stay away from teaching, which is a
Correct.
good thing for you.
No, I loved it.
And a good thing for the students, obviously. So was retirement what you expected it to be?
No, it was much better. It was much, much better.
That's great. That's good. That's great
because
for our audience to hear that.
I dreaded that. I loved my work. I liked what I was doing. I enjoyed being with the people, and with the colleagues. We had a wonderful time. We had a nice social atmosphere, and the kids are always fun. You know, they're junior high, middle school kids, crazy one day and perfectly wonderful the next, or the next 5 minutes. So it was always fun. It was always, it was difficult, but you could always find something fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Erwin and I had made a pact that we would retire together. So we did. And it was, in a way, I was dreading it because what am I going to do a whole day? What are we going to do? But as you know, or you're not retired yet, but you must know from other people that they say in their retirement, they can't understand how they ever managed without it. There's so much to do. There's so,
Right.
you know, it's what you do expands to the time that you have.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
one of
retirement was a great pleasure. Great pleasure.
one of the pieces of feedback that I got from another person who I interviewed was that she really appreciated not having to have the responsibility that's associated with being getting up at a certain time, being somewhere, having to do something, and she really enjoyed that sense of freedom.
It's a sense of freedom, but I was looking for structure within it.
Right.
Even when Erwin was alive, we had not a very structured day, but we planned ahead, and which museum to go to, which concert. It was structured. And then when he died, I needed more structure than that. I needed a place to go and to do something I wanted to do, and that would be and something that would be not knitting or just stuff like that, but something where I could work with young people, which I
Right.
think is really important to me. It was very important.
Right. Right. So looking back on your life, what are some of the things that you've done that you're either most proud of or have given you much fulfillment?
The teaching, the
Teaching.
teaching at all the levels. I started out teaching kids kids and youngsters who were developmentally disabled. And that was my first love. And I did that for several years. And then I wanted to change to do something else. And I did all those different things along the way. So I'm really pleased about my teaching career.
Beautiful.
And then when I became the assistant principal, I made it a job where it was mostly teaching the teachers. So again, I was able to enjoy that, and I'm pleased because I know that I influenced a lot of teachers, many, and that's very gratifying, very gratifying. And then the other thing is we raised two sons who are wonderful husbands and wonderful fathers. I really can't, you can't ask for more than that in life. I think that's it. You like what you do as an individual. You like how your kids turn out. So it's all really good.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy for that. Um, knowing your children, and of course knowing your background in teaching, I think there's probably very few things that we can do in life that are more gratifying or more helpful to others, frankly, than teaching. Um,
Look
so,
at your dad, a perfect example.
thank you.
He's a very good teacher. He was a really good teacher.
Yeah. So, so what in particular do you look forward to in the next few years?
Uh, I look forward to not getting sick, not being dependent. That's the main thing. If I do get sick, I shouldn't be dependent. And I look forward to watching the family grow, maybe great grandchildren. And I think basically it's just watching the world go by.
Hmm.
And also, and the need for my need for independence is enormous.
Right. That makes total sense. Of course. So I'm going to change gears a little bit. Um, do you believe in God or a higher
No,
higher being?
no, you got a fast no on that,
Yeah.
Morty.
Listen, Roz, if you need
I'd
a
have to
couple more
think about
minutes,
that.
if you need a few more minutes to think about it,
I'm not changing my mind.
okay.
No, that's a fast no. No,
Right.
I don't.
Right. Okay. Um, so where do you
But that
think?
has,
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
excuse me, but that has nothing to do with feeling very connected to Judaism and to tradition and to the things that I think Judaism is uniquely able to provide. But to me, it's a purely secular approach. But it has nothing to do with religion, with praying, with joining an organized religious group. But I feel very Jewish, and I really feel like I'm traditional Jew and also a culinary Jew. That's very important.
Right. And we're gonna make culinary with a capital C, culinary Jew, so
Yes,
people
a real
understand.
religion, right?
Uh, well, there's lots of things that give you meaning that are related clearly to Judaism, whether it's the people or
Right.
the community or the secular aspects of it, but certainly not the God aspect. And you're probably
No.
not alone in that sense as well. Um, so so where do you think you or your spirit or your soul will go? Now that I turned 63 recently. I'm starting to think more and more about, okay, the next phase, dying, that kind of thing. So where do you think you or your spirit or soul will go when you pass on from this life? What's your sense of that?
I hope that it remains that my life, my teachings, my spirit, my ideas will remain in the memories of the people I love and the people who loved me. It's just you think about someone and it either makes you feel good, you know, or sometimes you think about someone and makes you feel bad. But I would like to be. I think that's what it is. It's just how people will remember me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I can say with 100% certainty that will happen. So no worries there because you've made such an important imprint on not just hundreds, I would say thousands of people,
I
and they've
doubt it, Mordy. Let's go back to the math. I don't
I've
think
been
it's.
I've been keeping track, Roz. Okay, I've been keeping track. I didn't tell you this. We've known each other for probably 58 years,
That's
and I've been
right.
keeping track of you, so I know it's in the thousands.
To the town.
Right. Okay. Uh, you know, and I know as I get older, I think about dying much more than I was younger. Do you think about it at all?
Only that I hope that when it's my time to go, it's there. That I'm not a burden on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
That I'd be fortunate enough to just go, to just die,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
without putting other people into a lot of trouble. Because in the lingering illnesses that we see, that I see more than you, I'm sure, it's it's not the person who's sick that's suffering. I mean, they probably are, but it's the people around them, the people who are responsible for them, the people who love them. And so I think about dying, not much. I don't think much because I know it's something I can't do anything about. I could do things about keeping alive, helpful things, stuff like that, but I know I have no say in the dying.
Sure.
So I hope that it'll be fast, and I
Mm-hmm.
think everybody hopes that.
Sure. Sure. So, last question, Roz. So, from all of your experience, what advice do you have for your children or their children or people watching this video about how best to live life?
I think it's best to live life according to the golden rule. That says, I think to me, that says it all. And of course, there are bad times, and I think it's important to learn how to make lemonade out of a lemon because we have the opportunity to do that if we could only move away from the the bad news and the bad things that are happening. Try to make the best of it. It's a little Pollyannish, but for me it was. I think if you hold grudges, as so many older people do, it's terrible. It's debilitating. It's not worth the effort that you put into it. So I think that it's better to let the bad thoughts go, bury them someplace else. Just don't dwell on them. And I think the most important thing in life is to find someone to love and then work at that. Take care of that person. And I think that if you do that, you could focus on somebody else. And I think when you do that, it's very, it's enlightening, and it's a source of great pleasure, at least to me. It's a source of great pleasure. And I think if you have someone in your life to love a lot, it enhances everything. Everything has more meaning. Everything is better. It's better. And of course, underneath it all is if you're lucky enough to be born with a sense of humor, it helps a lot. But I think my main advice would be nice, be good, don't bother other people. It's just the golden rule.
Right. Very, very inspiring. So, I really appreciate you taking the time today to speak with me about your life. I know that this will be inspiring to many people. You are one of my heroes, for sure.
Mordy.
On my very short list. It's not like I have a list of 200 heroes, okay, Roz? It's only like maybe 75 at most.
Okay, so I'm in the top 50%, I hope. That's it.
Right. Oh, so much math.
Mordy, I know you don't have heroes. You're not that sort.
I do. I have people I admire and aspire.
Yeah, they're not heroes. You just like them a lot.
And aspire to be like them. So I have a long way to go. Anyways, thank you so much. It was wonderful seeing you. And
yeah, I'm happy to see you, Mordy. You look great. You look really great. And you're busy. Now that's my other advice. Keep busy. Keep running. You got to keep running. You know the saying, you run away from the mouth of mother?
No, I didn't know that one. Okay.
Oh, that's a guiding light. You run away from the mouth of mother.
Right.
You'll explain it to those who don't understand it.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
I will stay in touch. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. And it's good to see you, Mordy. Regards to Elizabeth.
You will. Stay healthy. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
My name is Philip J. Weiss, affectionately known as PJ since I was born. But I had to become Philip when I went to Manhattan in 1964, because if you're a PJ in Manhattan, you're a Patrick Joseph and you own a bar. It must be 50 PJ, whatever. So I went back to Philip. But my friends will still call me PJ. So I'm 80 years old, just 80. I spent my entire career in Manhattan. It was a wonderful trip too. What a ride, great ride. Started out working for Colgate-Palmolive Company as a trainee, and then IBM, which was a fantastic opportunity for me. Then I worked for a small consulting firm where I learned how to go into business for myself from there.
And about how long have you been retired?
Going to an organization's office, I think was 2004. But I kept doing what I was doing on my own without any staff, all freelancers. And I had some real good clients, and they wanted to use me whether I was with an organization or not.
Beautiful.
And then I moved to Florida, and I had one huge client there who was also a friend. And I also did some work for some lawyers and crazy dentists who made shit in Japan, the insides of cats. He was a vet.
So it sounds to me like you're not even retired yet.
Well, I wish I could talk somebody into retaining my skills, but that's kind of hard.
This podcast is going to change everything. So how have you been enjoying your retirement, and what do you like about it?
I love staying in bed in the morning, turning over, whipping out another book on my Nook, and I love reading. I love the freedom. I've always had a high skill level at doing nothing. It's a learned skill, believe me.
Don't put that on your resume. Okay? Was retirement what you expected it to be?
Yeah. I mean, I was in a business that, everybody was younger than me once I got to my 60s. So I knew that's how it was going to end up. It was not a surprise before.
So
Right somebody else.
So right place, right time, and the right connection.
Yeah, it was great.
And of course, you've got the skill level, so you weren't selling water. So looking back on your life, what are some of the things that you've done that you're the most proud of, or have given you much fulfillment?
Well, I have 3 terrific kids. 2 different wives, 3 kids. So that's a milestone. I also produced and wrote and created some memorable things in, I guess you'd call it industrial theater.
So what in particular do you look forward to the next few years?
Hanging out with Evie, she's an incredible person.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some traveling, and I like it here in Southern California. It's very pleasant. I hope to see, my son is now in Bozeman, Montana. I don't know if he's going to stay there, but so a lot of our family is west of the St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it the way it's been.
Good for you.
I don't have any. I don't have a huge bucket list. There's a lot of places I'd like to go see, but some of them are impractical. But I'll try anything once.
So I'm going to change gears a little bit here. So do you believe in God or a higher being?
And I've thought about that a lot. Yeah, I believe in a higher being, but it's not very transparent to me, and it's not translucent either. It's an enigma. But I understand man's desire to think that there's something else out there. Like, I think every species just dies. I don't think we go anywhere. I don't think there's a caterpillar heaven or a giraffe heaven or a hippopotamus heaven. I think all species just die. And but I am amazed when I study and observe nature. There seems to be, I don't want to say a grand plan, but there seems to be a certain logic to how things progress. Birds, for instance. I'm fascinated by birds. So there's a lot of things that I don't know about, but I don't believe that there's some spirit in the sky.
So where do you think you or your spirit or your soul will go when you pass on from this life? What's your sense of that?
I don't foresee any specific destination.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, how many billions of people have lived and died? I mean, there's certainly no messages back to me from my relatives, and I just think that I think it's man's weakness. There's got to be something better than this, or somebody promised me something, and maybe I'll buy into it.
Okay, that's a good answer. So I know as I get older, I think about dying much more than when I was younger. Do you think about it at all?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. My parents went instantaneously, no suffering, no long haranguing, nothing like that. Let me shut this off. So I would prefer to go that way. In fact, that's what I intend to happen. I don't want to get treatments for 6 months in pain so that I can live another 4 days. That doesn't make sense.
Hmm. So from all of your experience, what advice do you have for your children or people watching this video about how best to live life?
Tell the truth all the time. There was a guy at Carnegie Mellon, I think, who had zillions of views on his, maybe he did a TED talk, I don't know, but he said that, and I really bought into that. Keeps you out of a lot of trouble, and it also maintains your respect among your elders and your family. Tell the truth all the time, and try to be kind to people. So many people are such pricks. I don't get it. I really don't. But just be nice to people and swing along. If things aren't going your way now, don't give up. Just keep at it. It's easy to say when you're retired and don't have to worry about a paycheck coming in, but you asked me what advice I would give.
Beautiful. So be easy, more easygoing, be flexible. I like to tell the truth all the time, and I like the kindness.
Yeah, the most important thing is all the time. And that,
Not just when it's easy.
right.
Good. Beautiful.
Also, I'm very lucky to have met your mother-in-law and all my elderly friends in Southern California. I mean, they're very nice people, very supportive, sometimes a little boring to hang out with all the time, but you hear the same crap at every gathering. But they're very sweet people, and they know how to laugh, which is very important.
Beautiful. Thank you. So I really appreciate the time you took today to speak with me about your life.
That's it. I haven't even been profound yet.
That was very profound, believe me, because I think it's inspiring, and I think it's going to be inspiring to people, and that's why we do this.
Great. Well, it's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. I'll see you.
Thank you.
See you later.
I look forward to staying in balance.
Okay. All right.
Take
Thank you.
care.
Again.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed our conversations with Gail, Rosalind, and PJ. I am certainly inspired. Please like, comment, share, or subscribe to the It's Not What You Think podcast. That helps us to continue to produce these episodes and invite other guests from around the world. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or would like to hear any specific guests on the podcast, please share my email, mordylevine@gmail.com, or visit mordylevine.com. And remember, it's not what you think.